Welcome back to Landmark Football Conference Media Day. Frank Rossi from In the D3FB Huddle here. And it's time for Susquehanna. And guys, what we'll do is let you introduce yourselves, year, position, name, obviously. And then we'll go from there. And Coach, if you want to give opening remarks, feel free to after they're done introducing themselves.
I'm Nick Gonzalez. I'm a senior offensive lineman.
I'm Keith Green III. I'm a strong safety going into my senior year.
How you doing? I'm Drew Robinson. I'm a linebacker senior year.
Coach.
Tom Perkovich, head football coach. We're excited to be here on the first media day for Landmark football.
We'll let anybody outside here give some questions. I see a hand already. Go right ahead.
Donnie Collins with the Scranton Times. What changes for you guys, if anything, joining the conference? Is there any kind of logistical stuff that goes into it from your end, and or is it just business as usual?
Well, obviously, you're playing some new people. In my tenure, we played the same 10 opponents, so we're going to have some new faces, new people. Very different travel with the out of conference because we've only had one out of conference prior to now. Now we have 4, so there's obviously some different things there. Just overnight trips, which I think is cool for these guys to be able to get that experience and just managing a different schedule, for us. But overall, I think it's, for us, our goals don't change. The way we do operate, the way we go about our process, go about our business is not going to change, and the expectations in our program are going to stay the same no matter who we play.
The out-of-conference games, how do you kind of look at those as a chance to elevate yourself?
Yeah, we went out and tried to, play some quality people, right, and really get out of our region a little bit. So we open up in a different region against Bridgewater, who was a 9-1 team last year. Then we have the combination agreement with the Empire 8, so we play Brockport and Cortland, who are 2 of the top teams in that conference. And then from Region 1, Western New England has in past years been a strong opponent. So we tried to play the game a little bit. I've been on the rack. I've been understanding how the playoffs work and the things that you need to do with your schedule to help yourself. And when, the change of conference came and we were going to have more non-conference games, I felt like we could go out and find some people and continue to elevate our program like we've done, over the last 5 years and try to continue to put ourselves on the national map.
If you know how the playoffs work, we're going to have you on our show more often because we're always guessing still to this day. Let's open up to the players with this question. Guys, I was with you in some of the highs and the lows last year, obviously. I was there for the Hopkins game, which obviously was a high. And I wasn't at the field with you, but I was watching intently the Utica game. What did you learn from those highs and lows last season, and how do you carry that into and forward into 2023? What lessons did you get from those experiences, especially last year? Nick, go ahead.
Definitely just keeping our head straight. Just that, don't get too high in the moment. Enjoy it, but obviously stay focused 24/7. Taking game by game. So definitely having that experience in the playoffs is going to help us this year because a lot of kids are returning. So that'll be good.
Yeah, I would say preparation was definitely a big key last year and how we went throughout the season. I think last year was probably one of the most disciplined teams we ever had. Like, I don't see a guy out there with ego or anything. We were all out there to help each other get better. So when we had faced those opponents like Hopkins, we knew that was our
speed with everything. But definitely we have to fill those positions in, which would be hard. But with us, the experience we have with those guys, we'll know everything, like what they did and stuff. So we're just kind of teach the young guys, teach the kids who are coming into the position how we work things out with them.
Me and the guys, Drew and Nick, have been talking about taking the initiative recently, just knowing that we have a big young class coming in and knowing that we're the head of the snake and not wanting to fall short again like before. So, yeah, like I said, taking the initiative, letting guys know what it is and that it's really time to grow up. College is a different level of everything.
Really, our coaches, they harp a lot all the time about reloading and not rebuilding. So we want to reload our players and the incoming freshmen into what our culture is. We're a big program on culture, and as long as we follow the culture and get everybody up to speed with how the culture is moved and ran, then I think we'll be fine.
Coach, your team is a bit of an enigma, easy for me to say, coming into this year, though, because of some of the key losses and the way the season ended last year. I'll be honest, JB and I do not have you in our top 25. You're right outside of it. That's not an insult to you because you're right next to a lot of great teams out there that were 1 and 2 loss teams last year. That just there's no room ultimately for them in that top 25. How do you kind of navigate this situation? Because you've got this 10-1, 9-2, 10-1. Those are the last 3 seasons you played. That's tremendous football. That's elite football, as Nate Milne would probably say to you. But I mean, how do you navigate this year now with the losses and everything else, and hearing these guys talk about how they're going to try to fill in those blanks for you?
Well, I think it started back in January, right? I mean, we knew who we were going to lose. We lost some great 5th-year players and seniors, from last year. But really, trying to make sure that the guys that maybe were the backups or those rising guys got better in the spring. That we got them better in the weight room, got them better on the field, and they understood that where their role may be in the fall and what they're competing for. And then obviously we went out and recruited, through the high schools and obviously the transfer portal. We've done some of that. I think that's different than it used to be maybe 10 or 15 years ago. So, or even a few years ago. But we tried to fill in the spots we thought we needed. I think we got those guys in the mid-year, so they were around our team. They understood what was going on. We'll have a couple more this fall, but I really try to focus on the guys around me right here, right? Our best players. They have to understand that the need for them goes up, right? Because now it's not lean on the Michael Roosh, it's not lean on Sal Guinaris and Dalton Simpsons. They got to be the focal point guys. They've got to take care of business and bring guys along with them, right? They have that responsibility now, which those other guys did a great job. I don't have a crystal ball to tell you how we're going to be. Obviously, we've got some things to figure out over the next month. Camp's going to be incredibly important. I think we're coaching staff's talking about adjusting some things practice-wise to figure out who are those young guys that can come and help, who's gotten better, who's taking their business seriously. But I think we have a really good nucleus back. I think we have good leadership, and obviously, guys that come to our program know what we're expected to do, and obviously we've kept it going and we've lost guys those other years too, right? After 2019, we lost Daniel Sheltons and, an All-American and a lot of really good players at linebacker, and came back and were able to continue that trend. So I hope that, like Drew talked about, more reloading and rebuilding. One thing we take a lot of pride in is player development, and I think that's what you have to do if you want to be a consistent winner every year. Your development of your players, not just the ones that are on the field, but the ones that are the backups, the ones that are younger, is what's going to keep us there. And I think we have a good plan. I'm confident in the plan, and I think we have the talent to be able to be very successful again this year. But everyone knows we got to figure some stuff out, and losing a four-year starter quarterback, 10,000 total yards, that's some big shoes to fill, but I'm confident we can do it.
What is tough to replace is personality. You had some linemen last year that had a lot of personality, I can tell you firsthand. Nick, are you up to the challenge of replacing those guys with the personality?
Yes, of course I am. Yeah.
Okay, can't wait to see that coming up. So guys, the way we kind of end things here is, I'm sorry, we ended by giving it to one final question out there.
Lance and Kearney Flow Football. Coach, what are some of those key focus things you're trying to look at going into fall camp outside of, figuring out the quarterback situation? And guys, as leaders on the team, what are you going to be doing outside of practice to make sure that you can really get the new guys to be bought into the picture? Save
the best for last. See that?
There you go. I think for us it's just being efficient with our time, making sure that we have a really good, daily plan with our players and how we teach them, and making sure that they know the ins and outs of our playbooks, and then obviously being really good in practice during that time. I think making sure our guys compete at a high level, they understand where they are, great communication between the coaches and players, and then the players hopefully doing the things that they need to do to grow that family, right? You got a lot of new people and trying to get them in, but they'll obviously do the camaraderie stuff outside of the field.
Yeah, definitely. For the offensive line, definitely this year, staying after practice more, going over like footwork, walking through every play, definitely will help us. So we have a lot of new young guys coming in. So the time with them, the older guys will spend with them, will help them definitely, and the whole team in general, staying out after.
Yes, outside of the lines, I definitely want to put in. I'm always putting in work, whether it's in the office or physical in the weight room or on the field. I just want to show guys that I'm dedicated and that this is my passion. And I want to, I don't do this just for fun. I mean, obviously it's fun to do, but I do it with a passion, and it means something to me. It means more to me, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And just to show the young guys that you put the more time in, the better you'll be as far as knowledge on the field, being physical on the field, and all that as well.
Absolutely, yes, and I'm sure the other guys can attest to when they came in, but I want to put into perspective of when I came in as a young guy, and we talked about those big guys, those fifth years, seniors that graduated. When I came in as a freshman, they took me in, and they showed me the ropes. They made sure I was family to them, so I want to extend that to the freshmen that's coming in this year, and show them how it is, and show them that we can be family together, and really build with each other.
So we end this in the huddle style of allowing the players to give shout-outs, any family, friends, teammates, etc. that might be watching, and then Coach, after they're done giving their shout-outs, you can give some final words. Obviously, we'll have a coaches roundtable later, but any final words for this portion of our program here? So guys, shout-outs first. Go right ahead, Nick.
I'd like to shout out my mom, my family, my dad, and everyone, my teammates. I'm excited to get going in about a week. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I want to shout out my mom and my sisters, Taya, Hunter, Kennedy, Chandler. That's my family, and then my teammates behind me watching. I hope y'all ready to go. It'll be time to go.
I want to shout out my mom, my family, my teammates. Shout out to Hillside, New Jersey, where I'm from, and shout out Prep for Life.
Coach.
Thank you guys for your time.
Yeah, that's thank you for everything you guys, following us and giving us coverage. D3 football doesn't get enough of that, I don't think, and doing things like this help promote our game, promote our schools, and it's an honor to be a part of it.
Guys, thank you very much. Best of luck. I'm definitely watching this season. Don't you worry. And might make another visit. Who knows? Last year I got to enjoy their tailgate, one of the best in America. I will attest to. There's pictures of me eating and eating and eating. We'll be back here with the Landmark Conference Media Day. Up next is Juniata.